Alright, I'm back. We got ourselves some Agua Black IPA. One of my favorite Mexican breweries that I've tried thus far, and definitely my favorite Mexican brewery name that I've came across this far. Agua is, it means bad water, I think. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it means bad water, and I don't know why I really like that for a brewery name. So Cervezaria Artesanal out of Ensenada, Mexico. So you can see all of that right there. And it looks like we just got like a black background with jellyfish, like some jellyfish weaving through the logo there. On the back side, it says Black IPA, SRM 28. I don't know if that's referring to like the color on the beer, but it also says 60 IBUs. You can see what I'm talking about right there. And it looks like it utilizes Comet and Simcoe hops. So a lot of information on this. One of the more put together Mexican breweries, if you will. I'm going to be cracking this bad boy with my Lancaster Razor Works bottle opener right here. Big shouts to Andre for making this for me. And one of the breweries that doesn't overcarbonate the living shit out of their beer. I've had many out of Mexico where as soon as I pop the top, things go sideways. The beer and the foam just start flying out. This one, it might be, carved a little more than I'd like, but at least it's not a killer in this situation. You can see the beer there has quite a dark color on my side. It's quite dark actually. I hold it up to the light and it's still kind of hard to see through it. We got about 2.5, 3 fingers of tan foam head. Let's see how it smells. We definitely got some of those piney hops rolling through. Also some bitterness I feel from, well, it has to be from the hops, but let's go ahead and give it a shot here. Okay, so it's crisp. There's not a lot of viscosity. It does have a punch of bitter hops. Like, it says 60 IBUs. These are, some potent IBUs. It's bitter. Actually more bitter than a lot of the things I've came across as of late. So it's kind of punching me different. But let's take another sip. I guarantee it'll simmer down. That second sip is always less bitter than the first one. Okay, so on that second sip, I definitely get a lot more of the malts underneath. There is a very, very slight sweetness. It's almost like a burnt caramel, black coffee, and then layered and layered and layered on top of that is just piney, resinous. You can't see my hands, but down here I'm making gestures. Piney, resinous hops. It's a good one. All right, that is about double the amount of time that I usually spend on beer talk, but I ain't mad about it. So we got our lather whipped up today. Very nice looking lather indeed. This is Oleo Soapworks, and this is not their new Darkwing formula. This is their old Canard formula. So you can see that right there. This one is called That Darn Soap. And, well, it's actually called Grounds. It's called Grounds and Shavings. And it's a collaboration between Oleo and That Darn Rob. Hence it's saying that darn soap and that darn splash. But I believe the name of the soap is actually called Grounds and Shavings. And it's basically referring to coffee, the coffee note, and then wood notes. And it's kind of a play on Rob the brush maker, you know, having coffee while he's turning brushes. So there's a look at the soap there. It's kind of an off-white color, a very firm soap tub right there. That one has lasted me years, and there's plenty to go. Like I said, I got it whipped up right here. Very nice looking leather. Lancaster Razor Works shave bowl. That darn Rob brush right here with the bird's eye under ivory. And then on top we got AP Shave Co. SynBad synthetic knot. Let's go ahead and wet the face. Get this shave rolling. So hope everybody's doing well. I had a fairly interesting yesterday at work. It was busy as all get out, and we were understaffed, so we never really got ahead. But today we got a little bit of help, you know, less call-ins, more people showing up to do their fucking job. Sorry. And today was a much better day. We actually got everything done that we were supposed to get done, caught up from yesterday's, you know, mistakes, and now we're back on even ground again. So that is always a good thing. I don't like being behind. The scent on this one is phenomenal. That lather is also quite phenomenal. The scent is bold and banging. It is there to be enjoyed. I'll tell you what. My whole bathroom is radiating of woodsy, like a sweet woodsy, with just a little bit of like black coffee bitterness, like rounding off the sweetness. It's what I would call a gourmand type scent, but it really doesn't give me like coffee and cream type vibes. It's more like a sweet dry wood with the black coffee rounding off the sweetness, like the roasty, bitter black coffee rounding off the sweetness of the various woods. It's an interesting scent, but it is a fucking nice one. I think that'll do as far as the lather goes. The Canard base was one of my favorite soap bases a while back. I'll talk more about it in a second, but today we're going to be using my favorite razor in my collection, the Schick Golden 500 Injector razor. Always got to show off that slim profile. Excellent design for an older vintage razor. Absolutely beautiful. Looks like we have a supply injector blade in there. This is a Type J injector, for those that are interested. I recently had a subscriber and buddy of mine, Howard. He picked up a Type J, and he's gonna start his single edge razor journey and his Schick injector journey. So I'm very happy for him, and I, you know, have my fingers crossed that he will enjoy every second of it. The Type J is in my opinion, it's medium efficient, and it has It has a bit of blade feel, but not a lot. It's very smooth. It's very smooth and approachable, and I think Schick injectors in general are very easy to learn. Their learning curve as a razor style is quite low. It's not something, as a matter of fact, I feel like it's easier to learn Schick injectors than it is to learn double-edged safety razors. And I kind of feel the same way about gem razors as well, because with these, one simple rule will get you to the promised land. Ride the cap. So on this razor, this flat surface that the blade is even with, that's what we would consider the cap. And when we say ride the cap, it just basically means put it flush to your skin, and then maybe just like a 10-degree angle out, and you got it. I mean, the angle is basically provided with the head of the razor, and the way it's already has a cant heading away from the handle. It's pretty much provided for you. Injectors are very easy to pick up and learn, in my opinion. Just ride the cap. If anything, start off flush to the skin, and if it's cutting, you know, go ahead and stick with it. And then if it's not cutting because you're too shallow, go ahead and start bringing it off 10 degrees at a time until it starts cutting and it's comfortable. That's the way I would do it. Very easy to pick up and learn, in my opinion. Sorry for my dog wigging out over here. I didn't really look down to see what the hell the issue was, but she was like sneezing or investigating something very, very vigorously. It was just like one sniff after another. Alright, so here's a pup date on wee Lemmy Winks here. Look at the camera, Lemmy Winks. So there's Lemmy Winks for anybody who's interested in the pup date. She is filling out. She's getting nice and long, and she's a beauty. Definitely has a ton of character, a ton of energy, full of piss and vinegar, like my grandma would say. It's actually getting better every subsequent drink. A lot of people who don't like bitterness in their beer, they'll quit after the first sip. And especially if that first sip happens to be their first beer of the day, that first sip can hit you like a Mack truck, because it's kind of jarring to the senses. But every subsequent sip, your palate starts getting familiar with it, and it really mellows out. You'd be surprised how fast you become acclimated to that taste you thought was jarring just one sip ago. Plenty of lather left. This is, what I would consider a soap of old, but not real old. It definitely is still high structure, but it was one of the ones that was making the move away from huge Santa Claus beards. I mean, it still can generate a huge Santa Claus beard if I was interested in those kind of lathers this day. But wet shaving as a community, for the most part, has moved away from high volume lathers, and now we kind of like a more low structure, low volume, higher density lather. This one is kind of on the medium light density. and kind of on the medium high structure. It's not like egregious with its ratios. Like I was saying earlier in the video, this was one of my favorite soaps at one point. I never considered it like the best base in the game, but it was one of my favorite bases. I was very familiar with it. The ease of use was there. It had great slickness. Oleo offered a bunch of amazing scents. Vita has always been a cool lady in the community, knowledgeable, and I've always kind of respected the way that she does business. She doesn't spend all of her time hyping something up. She announces something's coming out when it's pretty much ready, and then releases it, and there's no real twists and turns and turmoil with Vita's offerings, because she's just kind of straight up with you. This is what it is, and she delivers at a very high rate of success with me and the community, let's be honest. Yeah, big fan of Vita's and all the twists and turns that her wet shaving company has went through over the years, going from Oleo Soapworks to what was it, like Oleo and Co. or some shit like that, and Chicago Grooming Co. It's went through a few phases, but for the most part, I've been there to support every step of the way. I really like her products. Haven't bought something in a while, but I have a nice, respectable collection. Okay, let's go ahead and rinse off and get into this post shave. Plenty of lather left in the brush as well as in the beard. I could probably do another 2 passes easy, but let's go ahead and get this off. So the scent is still there. It's still hanging around. I haven't went nose blind to it. I wouldn't consider this a hugely complex scent, but it is a damn good one. It's a casual banger. I would take this in a candle any day to have going, like in my bedroom or in the living room. This is something that I would dig for sure. All right. So the Canard base performs once more. That shaved down probably 3-4 days of growth. My shaves are getting further and further apart, and I am losing track of like how many days of growth I have at any given time. But that Schick Injector, that Golden 500, the GOAT 500, mowed that growth down with no problems. I know there's some people who say that injectors are too efficient. There's other people that say they're too mild. And really, different types have different aggressions and different smoothnesses. But for the most part, I think most of them are right around that medium efficiency, medium smoothness, in my opinion. Or I should say medium blade feel, not medium smoothness. Okay, I'll get the rest of that lather off camera. But, at any rate, that just mowed down multiple days' growth with no issue. Okay, we are going to do a combination here of Good Oleo, which is a pure oil blend of a gang of skin food. That's about as good as it's going to get on the zoom there. And then we're going to match that with the Aftershave Splash here, ingredients list. Not included on this one. So we're going to give it a shake. We're going to take the caps off of both, since we're going to be down to only one hand. So caps off of both. Let's go ahead and 1, 2, 3, and the residual. And then we'll go ahead. This has a nice restrictor on it. And we'll combine the pure oil blend with the Aftershave Splash. The Splash has much more coffee left in it, creating a different aftershave scent than the soap had. This one is it's almost like they went from being 75% woods and 25% coffee to 75% coffee. Well, no, it's probably more like 60-40 now. 60% coffee and 40% woods. It's almost like they've flopped dominance. But they both smell fucking fantastic, honestly. Alright. Now that I'm smelling like a fucking snack for like a woodpecker or a fucking beaver or something like that. Let's go ahead and see you guys out. So cheers to you guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Hope to catch you on the next one. Take care.